Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Sangham Saranam Gacchami. I go for refuge in the Buddha. I go for refuge in the Dharma. I go for refuge in the Sangha. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Greetings. We'll start off tonight, as we usually do, with 15 minutes of meditation. The great way is not attained by practice. Talk of practice is for the ordinary and the ignorant. When you have found the principle and look back on practice, for the first time you will realize you have misused time and effort. Regardless, we practice. Chant the Gatha on opening the sutras. This Dharma, incomparably profound and minutely subtle, is rarely encountered even in hundreds of thousands of millions of ages. Now we see it, hear it, hold and maintain it. May we completely realize the true mind of all Buddhas. All right, we're in for a treat that we haven't had for a while, because somebody has been able to observe their breath and their breathing more than most of us have been for the last, I don't know, just ridiculously long amount of time. So tonight the Dharma is brought to us by Brother Hengdal.
I even wore my Zen dress-up clothes for the occasion. So I know everybody is missed him, so the return of Sid. Sid had been living in a certain small community, and he was not at all well regarded. Most of the residents thought he was pretty weird. He looked kind of odd. He acted strange. He smelled suspiciously like patchouli. And so everybody kind of regarded him with a certain amount of suspicion. And as it would happen, a young lady in the town where Sid lived turned out to be extremely pregnant. And when her angry parents confronted her and questioned her about who the father was, not knowing what else to do, she immediately picked on Sid, because nobody liked him anyway, and said, it was Sid. The parents were furious. How dare he, this vagrant that lives in our town. And so they immediately went over to Sid's apartment and they crashed through the door. And they paused for a moment and they said, Sid, it smells strangely like bad homegrown in here. And Sid said, yeah, well, that's just what you say, man. And they said, Sid, our daughter is pregnant. She's identified you as the father. What do you have to say about this? Sid said, well, that's what you say, man. You have nothing else to say about this. Nah, what else is there to say, man? So achieving no satisfaction from Sid, they went back home and continued to be angry with their daughter until the child was born. And then they brought the baby to Sid's apartment and said, here you go. You've ruined our family. You've created a life. Now you take care of it. Sid said, okay, dude, whatever you say. So he took care of the baby and he figured out how to feed it and take care of it. But as it turns out, the young mother was just kind of horrified in guilt and wanted her child back. And so she confessed to her parents that it really wasn't Sid after all that was the father of the child. And now they felt really bad, and they went back over to Sid's apartment, and they knocked and came in very sheepishly and said, it turns out you're not the baby's father. We're very sorry about this. We just kind of assumed, you being the way you are, that, you would do such a thing. And Sid just handed the baby back to them and said, yeah, well, that's the way you see it, man. So if any of you are interested in a non-Sid version of this story, it's Hakuun, and you can probably find it in Zen Flesh, Zen Bones, or other places. And usually when somebody talks about this story, it's about the accused. And the master exhibited such great equanimity and balance and poise when confronted with a situation of being accused of something of which he had no part and no knowledge, and how he just went with the flow. The original comments he always makes are, "Is that so?" And so we frequently talk about the master and just whatever happens, whatever hits him in life, whatever confronts him. Is that so? Or we talk about the guide that ultimately it is truly none of my business what y'all think of me. I can't confront it, change it, adapt it, argue against it. You will think what you will think. But I'd like to take this a little bit of a different direction tonight. Because what about the parents? What about the townspeople? In the original version, again, the master was very well regarded. Everybody just assumed he was a great, wise, proper Zen master. And even at that, one statement, and they changed their minds. So how do we truly regard people? What do we know about what we see? So from the point of view of the parents, or rather the example of the parents, or of the other townspeople, what's the assumption? Sid's kind of a lazy punk, right? Do they know? And you know, because you've been hearing these stories for years, Sid has been working for 2 millennium at achieving enlightenment in the Pure Land. He may not be always the best guided individual, but he's sure trying. But there's an assumption. And what do we do with those assumptions? What are we like in our daily life with those assumptions? How often do we truly know as we walk around town, as we interact with other people, as we interact with people on the streets, with coworkers, people who are hurting, who are angry? What do we truly know? And the answer is usually not much. How many of us experience at some point in our lives the great differences between our images and our assumptions and the reality? How many of us at a certain point realize that big, gruff, strong veteran that we assume can handle anything in any situation is actually quiet and afraid of the dark or loud noises? How many times do we find that the big ugly biker down the street actually volunteers at an animal shelter and nurses baby kittens who've been brought in? Or conversely, and you've all seen this on the news, the clean-cut, nice, well-dressed, mild-mannered young man who, when it's found out he has 10 bodies in a freezer in his basement, and the neighbors say, he seems so nice and normal. Because we make assumptions. Human beings are very good at that, and in some ways it's a survival mechanism. We put together little bits of information we have and we fill in the blanks because that's how we wander through life. But how much of that do we do incorrectly? We take 1 or 2 little pieces of information, a visual cue, something somebody says, a tone of voice, and we fill in the blanks with all kinds of crap. And what is that crap but our own delusions? We walk through the town and our lives, the marketplace, filled with delusions, and we act upon them. We judge people based on them. I've had to say to people recently, because my voice is not currently quite as melodic as I've been told it once was, that people hear me and they think I'm angry, and I'm saying, no, I'm not angry. That's just, I kind of growl right at the moment. It's a little bit hoarse. So you can't assume the tone of my voice means I'm yelling at you. Well, what do we do with these assumptions? We judge people. And what do we do when we judge people? We're not understanding them. And if we're not understanding them, if we're not understanding the person who is having a bad day and is a little snappy, or the person who is truly sad and hurt but is trying to hide it, or the person who has demons that they're just trying to live with, we're not understanding. We're doing a disservice, and that disservice is to ourselves and all the many beings. Because if we're not understanding, we're not exhibiting compassion. We're not exhibiting love. We're not exhibiting sympathetic joy. And truly, complete the thing, we're not exhibiting equanimity. We're launching ourselves as an unguided missile to the detriment of the people with which we share society, because we allow our delusions and the stories we tell ourselves in our heads about other people and who they are and what they're facing to get in the way of being a Buddha.
Thank you for your teaching, Brother Hangdal. Let's go back and have another 15 minutes of seated meditation. This is serendipitous. The nature of things is fundamental, perpetual silence, open and clear, without limits or boundaries. We chant the Heart Sutra. Mahaprajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, when practicing deeply the Prajnaparamita, perceives that all five skandhas are empty and is saved from all suffering and distress. Shariputra, all does differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. That which is form is emptiness. That which is emptiness form. The same is true of feelings, perceptions, impulses, consciousness. Shariputra, all dharmas are marked with emptiness. They do not appear or disappear, are not tainted or pure, do not increase or decrease. Therefore in emptiness no form, no feelings, perceptions, impulses, consciousness, no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no color, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind, no realm of eyes, and so forth until no realm of mind consciousness, no ignorance, and also no extinction of it, and so forth until no old age and death, and also no extinction of them, no suffering, no origination, no stopping, no path, no cognition, also no attainment, with nothing to attain. The Bodhisattva depends on Prajnaparamita, and the mind is no hindrance. Without any hindrance, no fears exist. Far apart from every perverted view, one dwells in nirvana. In the three worlds, all Buddhas depend on Prajnaparamita and attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Therefore know that Prajnaparamita is the great transcendent mantra, is the great bright mantra, is the utmost mantra, is the supreme mantra, which is able to relieve all suffering and is true, not false. So proclaim the Prajnaparamita mantra. Proclaim the mantra which says Gate Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhisvaha. Gate Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhisvaha. Gate Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhisvaha. Let's do the loving kindness meditation. May I be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to me. May no difficulties come to me. May I have a calm and peaceful mind. May I have patience, insight, courage, and compassion in meeting the challenges of life. May my parents be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they have a calm and peaceful mind. May they have patience, insight, courage, and compassion in meeting the challenges of life. May my teachers be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they have a calm and peaceful mind. May they have patience, insight, courage, and compassion in meeting the challenges of life. May family members and relatives be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they have a calm and peaceful mind. May they have patience, insight, courage, and compassion in meeting the challenges of life. May friends and acquaintances be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they have a calm and peaceful mind. May they have patience, insight, courage, and compassion in meeting the challenges of life. May unfriendly people and my enemies be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they have a calm and peaceful mind. May they have patience, insight, courage, and compassion in meeting the challenges of life. May unknown persons be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no difficulties come to them. And may they have a calm and peaceful mind. May they have patience, insight, and courage and compassion in meeting the challenges of life. May all beings, with form and without form, visible, invisible, born or coming to birth, large and small, from the highest realm of existence to the lowest, be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they have a calm and peaceful mind. May they have patience, insight, courage, and compassion in meeting the challenges of life. And let's do some dedications of merit. All sentient beings are one seamless body and pass quickly from birth to death. We remember those who cared for us and are gone, those who are ill, those who are at war, who are hungry and who are in pain. May they heal and have peace. We especially dedicate our service to Mike Gingy Wood, Sienna Wood, and would anybody care to add anyone in?
All 8 billion of our brothers and sisters in the Sea of Samsara, and all the countless humane in the world.
Any others?
Yeah, I'd like to dedicate merit to the people who are currently being arrested for expressing their political views by the current administration, taken out of their homes, put in handcuffs, thrown into unmarked cars, and taken to undisclosed locations, otherwise disappeared to El Salvador and elsewhere without due process.
Anyone else?
Tonka.
Any others?
Yes, one for all in prison for Palestine, and a final one for the postal workers fighting against privatization and anybody fighting for a better world.
All beings in the 10 directions, subject to the greed, hatred, and delusions of themselves and others. All Buddhas throughout space and time, all honored ones, Bodhisattva, Mahasattvas, wisdom beyond wisdom, Mahaprajna Paramita. Let's do our faith and practice vow. I will never retreat and will be firm in my mind in this correct Dharma. I will escape from the samsaric cycle of birth and death and definitely will see my original face. I will be sure to inherit the life of insight of the Buddha and save all sentient beings. Brother Hangdahl.
The spiritual source shines clear in the light. The branching streams flow on in the dark. Infinite realms of light and dark convey the Buddha Tao. Birds and trees and stars and we ourselves come forth in perfect harmony. We practice and recite this for all beings, and grateful thanks to our many guides along the way.
And let's recite the 4 great Bodhisattva vows. Sentient beings are numberless. We vow to help them all. Delusions are countless. We vow to see through them all. Opportunities to awaken are infinite. We vow to embrace them all. The Buddha way is endless. We vow to embody it. Life and death are of supreme importance. Time passes swiftly by and opportunities to awaken are easily lost. Strive to realize your true nature and do not squander your time by night or day.